LHE. Welcome. I'm going to go over our treasurer's report. So all field trips have been submitted to us and paid for. So yay, all grade levels are taking a field trip this year that PTO is sponsoring. Our ending balance for the month would be $26,586.47. That number will kind of fluctuate because we had our daddy-daughter dance and we sold over 100 tickets to that. It was an awesome turnout. Thank you to everybody that donated and thank you to everybody that came that night. We hope you had a blast. Some current upcoming programs and events. So fundraising, we have our big book fair, had our book fair night. We were able to raise over $600 for our library. Thank you again, it was awesome. All those desserts were donated from our wonderful Panther families, and it wouldn't have been such a success without y'all's help. Help us flip our courtyard. So we have a fun little project coming to LHE. We're gonna kind of just revamp our courtyard here at LHE and just we want to get like a 5th grade mural going on out there for every graduating 5th grade class to come, starting hopefully this year. We talked about these fun little tiles where the kids would make their picture, and that picture would be transferred to a tile, and that tile would later be stuck onto the wall. If you've been to Birdie, it's kind of very similar to that, and so they hold up good. They're pretty permanent and weatherproof. So 5th grade will hopefully get to do that before this end of the school year, and we'll have those tiles up for the next year. Then we have some fun just cleaning up things to do in there. And
Amy, can you project a little, because I don't think on video this is gonna.
Okay. So right now it is being used for our pre-K level kiddos because their playground got moved with the construction. So we're hoping to still kind of make one side of that courtyard accessible for them and pre-K friendly. But we want to incorporate some big tables so that we can have classrooms go out there, and the teachers have, each grade level would have their own planter box, and teachers will be able to coordinate their lessons with that. And so just getting them out there and letting parents know it is welcome for y'all to take your kids out there to eat lunch, start student celebrations, and just get more use out of it finally. So look for more information on that.
Do you know when that's going to be, Amy?
So our cleanup will be the first, or actually we're looking next week, sometime between the 7th and the 10th. So we'll release 2 dates. Hopefully one of those dates will work better and you choose the one that's best for you. And right now it's just minor things, just going out there, maybe like picking some weeds. We actually have a special partner helping us. We're gonna go walk over there and see kind of what is best for the area at the time, and then once we have more information on that, we'll release that too, kind of knowing, hey, this is what our tackle plan is on the actual cleanup part and stuff. So we're hoping to get some green thumbs. So if you have a green thumb, come our way. Yes. Nope.
If you have a black thumb, you can still come and help clean up.
Yes, come clean up. Family movie night and raffle night. That is going to be our big fundraiser. We will have raffle baskets that each grade level is making for a raffle that night, and we're actually going to be showing Moana. We'll have some our awesome watchdogs will be cooking out there, selling some yummy food, and PTO will have like a small concession stand, and just a fun for all. Come out, and it'll be hopefully weather permitting on the track, so we'll actually get to sit under the stars for the movie. So bring your lawn chair, your blanket to watch the movie, and so you can expect more information on that as well to come.
What date is that?
That's going to be April 28th. And then we have free money, so scan those receipts on your Box Top app. Memberships, family memberships are free, and we're always welcoming new businesses. Yearbooks, order your yearbook. We still have a couple left, so if you have not ordered yours, it's not too late, and you can order them on balfour.com.
But they said they're only ordering like 10 more extras.
Yes,
so
there won't be very extras, and so it kind of leaves us in a hard position when ordering the extras, so that we're not left with so many extra in the end if we do not sell them. But they are still available. Balfour.com. Just make sure you select the right school. Homeroom helper parents. We had a meeting. Thank you for all those that were able to attend. Room parents are assembling the baskets for movie night. If you wish to donate an item for your class basket, reach out to your room parent. Good morning. and they'll get and coordinate with you and what the theme is, what they're needing, or what their sign, maybe they have a sign up. Yes, and room moms, we will be having another meeting, so we'll have that date coming out Friday, so that will all go out email as well for y'all. Teacher appreciation. We are doing a disinfectant wipe drive this month. So if you're out the store this weekend, grab a pack of extra disinfectant wipes and send them your teacher's way. PTO will be donating a good amount to get them started, but any donations appreciated all this month. Maintenance appreciation day is tomorrow, so if you see one of our awesome maintenance workers around here, be sure to thank them for all their hard work that they do here at LAG.
An interruption, LAG. If you have any telepods testing.
Some events that we have coming up. Well, we had our Daddy Daughter Dance. Again, thank you for all that hard work, all our amazing volunteers that came to decorate, set up, and then stay for the dance and cleaned up afterwards. We wouldn't have been able to do it without y'all. This year we will be having a Dodgeball and Pizza Mother-Son event. So that will be, we're looking at March 24th or the 35th. They're both on 31st, sorry. 31st. And they're both on a Friday, so the time of that would be 6 to 8, 2-hour event as well. And we'll start off with like free time, free play, which is like 30 minutes, and whoever wants to go out there just play for fun. And then we'll go down to like beginner's level, so our little ones can go out there and it'll be friendly for them instead of getting pegged in the face by an expert. And then intermediate, and then expert level, and then go back in with our free play that the kids can, just parents play against each other. And we'll have some pizza there that night, some fun yard games, and some music going on. And tickets will be $25 per family for that, and our sales, the tickets will begin March 6th. So you can look for more information on that on our PTO page, and we'll be sending flyers home as well. And that will be here at LHE in the gym. Some volunteer opportunities that we have. We talked a little bit about the courtyard cleanup renovation. There's a sign up actually once you leave the cafeteria right there in the breezeway. You'll see some cute little plants up against the wall. There's a sign up there. If you want to leave your information for our amazing Miss Rampy and Miss Johnson, are some phenomenal teachers here that are kind of taking on the project and helping us with it. And so we call them marketing thumbs at LHE. And so they went to an awesome gardens club, or do you remember Heather what the convention that they went to about? I think it's the juniors garden club that they went. Rampy and Johnson.
Oh yes, they're going to science fair over this.
Yes, and they brought back some great knowledge about it, and they are looking forward to just incorporating that into our courtyard and possibly offering a garden club of our own here at LHE. Then we have Skating 101. So that comes in April. The kids always look forward to that. It is a 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade only activity. They come and they drop off these skates and helmets for the kids, and the kids learn from all the safety 101 of it and how to skate by the end of the whole program. And so, and they're inline skates, I believe, right? Yes. And so Giffels does an amazing job of putting that on, and they just get to roll around for those next 2 weeks.
We do less time, so we can just.
Yes, so this year, unfortunately, they used to get an hour, it's cut down to about 35 minutes.
Yes.
And so if we just need those volunteers to be here to help them get suited up with their pads, their helmet, before they can get their skates on. And the quicker they can get them on, the more time they can have to skate. So in the beginning, it's a little bumpy just because, they usually end up with elbow pads on the knees or knee pads on the elbows. But they get through it. So yes, we can use all the help for that. So expect a sign up genius for that. Yes, Heather.
So we're going to attempt for 35 minutes, but if for some for 5 minutes and then have them take all their equipment off, we'll move to an hour every other day.
Okay, awesome.
Is it a week? But if we get a lot of volunteers, the faster we get those things on the kids, the more time. So anytime you volunteer there, Giffels really looking for this.
Okay, so yes, those are some of the volunteer opportunities coming up. Some important dates, like spring break coming up, no school, our Mother-Son event that we went over. Our next PTO meeting will be April 6th. We're talking about possibly having some of the school board candidates come to the next meeting so they can talk to us about, or answer any questions that we may have for the upcoming election. Early voting, I believe, is April 9th, and that will be at the high school this year. So, then we have Skating 101, and then we're going to start testing later towards the end of that month, and we'll end that month with our family movie night on the 28th from 5 to 8:30. All right, well, we have some special guests here today. We have Ms. Margaret from the library. I'll let you go first.
Oh, okay. All right, events calendar. You can see it's pretty full, but I had a few things I wanted to highlight for you. First of all, Saturday, we are celebrating Dr. Seuss's birthday, and we'll have a big party from 10 to noon. We're also kicking off something new, which we're going to have pop-up story walks around town. And so our first one will be on Saturday at the library. But look for those around town as well. We have one that will be at Wetzel Park. We will do one out at the city park by the soccer fields. We have several different locations around town that will be popping up this spring. So look for those. Also, just wanted to report that Wednesday after school are just wonderful. We have had 70, 80 kids every Wednesday, and so it's very crowded in our little library, but it's also a lot of fun. We had a young man come in, a college student yesterday, and he said, "Do y'all run a daycare here or something?" And I said, "No, this is just our normal Wednesday afternoon." But anyway, so that's really been a successful thing, and that will definitely continue. I'm working on summer programming for the performers during our summer reading program, and I have some exciting acts lined up already, so just know that that's coming. Also, we have a Peeps in Disguise contest going on. If you did the pumpkin contest, it's very similar to that, but you can pick up those anytime at the library until March 26th. And then we will have voting for the best Peeps in Disguise. The other thing I wanted to point out is during spring break week, when you don't know what else to do, we have something planned every weekday during spring break week. So be sure you come by and see us, and don't forget to check out a few books while you're there as well. Remember, as long as you live in Liberty Hill ISD, everything at the library, including your library card, is free. So come see us.
Thank you.
And they have Hoopla, which I can't believe I didn't start
Yes, we
utilizing
do have
until
that.
recently. You can get all kinds of stuff. You can get better books than you can on like the Overdrive and stuff faster and stuff like that. So it's fantastic. You get movies and stuff on it.
Well, thank you, Ms. Margaret, for all those wonderful updates at the library. Next, we have Mr. Snell here today to talk about the bond for this year.
All right, thank you. Ms. Masana, where do you want me? Do you want this on the?
Yeah, is that gonna? Are we gonna? Is that gonna
Staying
be?
close to it?
Yes, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
All right. Well, good morning. It's so great to see you. Before we get started, I want to introduce a few people to you so you can put a face with a name. So this is Kylie Cortez. She is what's your official new title?
Digital Media Communications Coordinator.
Coordinator. Been with us for a while, but that's a new title for her. We have Kristen Coulter, elementary parent, and she joined us in October-ish, is that right? And then brand new to us is Rachel Acosta, but she was working for the Director of Communications, and she's enrolling her kiddos in Liberty Hill Elementary tomorrow, so, yeah. And then Dustin Aiken right there, Dustin Aiken is our director. You see, he manages those, and he has a couple people on his team. So, all right. So busy times in Liberty Hill. So, as you guys know, we passed a bond 2 years ago, and really the focus of that bond was growth. There was so much growth coming so quickly. We wanted to get ahead of it, and even getting ahead of it, we grew by 24% last year, which forced us to go to portables, which, by the way, I don't know if y'all saw her face when y'all announced we were having Moana. She got so excited. Just loved it. So this time, if you have any questions whatsoever, here's a QR code, and we have that on our webpage as well. So at any time, if you have a question, send it to us, and we answer it. We'll either send it directly to you, or if it's like an anonymous deal, we'll just put it on our Q&A, so everybody gets those answers. Chances are, if you have a question, lots of people have the same question. So we'll have to. So here we are again. Like I said, the growth at 24% came so quickly that it didn't keep up with construction, even though we have 13 construction projects going on right now. So we had to have portables at every elementary school. So hopefully by August, we'll get elementary 6 open, we'll have all of our expansions open, and we won't have the need for portables. I do have principals begging to keep a portable or two because storage is always a premium and office space is always a premium. But we won't need them for classroom space starting in August. So this year's long range planning had a little different focus. Growth is still there. Even though growth has slowed down for a variety of reasons, the main thing being the price of materials for the home builders and the interest rate for the home buyer. And the price has dropped a little bit for the current home they were selling. So people were selling their house for a premium, coming into Liberty Hill, buying a bigger house for, basically the same price, but having a low interest rate. Now that the interest rates are up and the house prices are going down a little bit, that has slowed that transition down big time. So, and when I say big time, we are only at 12% growth this year roughly, and we have 1,000 student growth and enrollment. And when you think about the fact that we graduated 400 students, we have 1,400 new Panthers this year in Liberty Hill. So, and our total enrollment's 8,000, a little over 8,000 as you guys will see. But the focus this time was still on growth, but it was also on, now that we've grown, in the last 4 years, we've gone from 4,000 to 8,000 kids, looking at how that growth is affecting our buildings we have, making sure we have equity, and we take care of some other facilities beyond the classroom that can handle that growth. The other and the big thing is we have very high expectations academically in Liberty Hill, and we want our facilities to match that. So there was a lot of equity, there's a lot of academic excellence on this committee. About 100 people on this committee. Mrs. Masana and her husband were on the committee. They did great work. We broke down into subcommittees, and we had subcommittees on facilities, on growth, on construction methods, on auxiliary facilities. But we also had committees on academics and the kind of programs we want to provide for our students as they progress through and graduate. And then one of the biggest committees we had was on culture, and want to make sure that we do things intentionally to maintain the traditions and the culture of Liberty Hill. As people move in from everywhere, we want to continue to make Liberty Hill special and that educational experience special in Liberty Hill. Any questions on the long range planning committee? All right, so they did a lot of work. We had a lot of considerations too. In their district growth, our demographics, which I'm going to touch on a little bit, when we need classrooms, and so there's good and bad with the current construction market. The bad is the price of everything is doubled. The good news is we don't need as many schools as we thought we would need 2 years ago. So we're still going to need a lot of schools, but not quite as many. So it's going to be a little more manageable. Of course, we took the price of construction into consideration. And then safety and security were a big thing. We think of safety every day, starting with getting students on buses every day, getting them to school safely, getting them home safely, making sure, the traffic concerns we have, especially on 29, that's safety, and then just making sure these buildings are safe for our staff and our kiddos. But a year ago, Uvalde, brought a different lens to it. We always think of that, we always think of the big bad wolf and protecting our kids, but we think of all the small things too. But Uvalde also will trigger a lot of things, and you guys will see, since our legislature is in session right now, you'll see a lot of bills related to safety. Texas Education Association has come up with a lot of new safety requirements, and all those requirements cost a little money. So the state's looking to help school districts a little bit with that cost. But in Liberty Hill, just so you know, this year alone, we spent $3.2 million on safety. So a lot of that is hardening our buildings, a lot of that is fencing, but a lot of that too is adding a police officer at every campus. So, and that has a cost too, but we think that cost is well worthwhile because the average time between a school shooting and a police response nationwide is about 3 minutes. So when you think about it, if you just stood here and were silent for 3 minutes, what can happen during that time? So we want immediate response, and we think having a good police officer trained to take out the bad guy is a benefit for all of us. But you think about it, they help with traffic, they help with you know, any kind of situation that happens, you know, most of their day is building relationship with our kids. So they have a resource to go to if they need to report it, and just taking care of the day-to-day. But should something happen, they're here to take care of it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
They're putting a light right here in front of Parker's.
Mm-hmm.
How is that gonna affect our morning drop off?
So
Sorry, I didn't know
that is
Thanks,
a great
Ryan.
question. So my official answer is I don't know. That's not in my wheelhouse, but we did a traffic study. We brought in Langan Engineering, who works with us a lot just in our schools, because like you think of all the logistics of parent drop off and parking right here. So our job as a school district is really to get cars off the road. Right?
Okay.
So we spent almost $1 million with added park. Well, you guys know there's never enough parking at an elementary school anyway, right? But we've added parking, we've extended those drive loops, so we keep cars off the loop. And then the way we dismiss y'all, about 10 cars at a time, that helps disperse the traffic, right? So we did a traffic study on morning time, 7 to 9, drop off and how that affects intersections. We did PM dismissal, 2:30 to 4:30, and then we went ahead and did 4 to 6 because traffic's bad, and we're working with the city. So the problem with this intersection right here, with all the people moving to Liberty Hill, is you basically have 2-lane roads controlled by a 4-way stop, right? And now you're gonna have a 2-lane road controlled by an intersection. So the city, we met with the city Monday, the city is going to put the lights in first and see how that affects it, and then they're gonna try to expand the intersection with right-hand turn lanes or left-hand
Oh,
turn
that'll help a
lanes.
lot.
So possibly. So when you have a 4-way stop, the way our traffic engineer explained it to us, when you have a 4-way stop, cars can trickle through, right?
Which helps us trickle out.
When you have a signal light, you're stopped.
Right.
Now, I don't know if they're gonna signalize it like a 4-way stop to maybe let 3 cars through and then stop and let another 3 cars through, because we kind of get bogged down at that 4-way stop. If any of y'all have gone through it, sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's like, you go, no, you go, no, you go.
Yeah.
So that's a long answer to, I just don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I drive it every day. Every morning I drop my kids off. And
Yeah.
if they did the cops to where they, it was like a light.
Oh yeah, that Tuesday morning,
Yeah.
that was the worst traffic of the year.
Yeah, I thought, the cops are doing it like a light,
Yeah.
and they put a light in.
So they were doing a training exercise, right? So I don't know exactly what
They
you
should
know.
involve the mom or the parents of the
Absolutely,
right here.
absolutely. But it's interesting. I see it, some, like in the morning, it's hard to get to the intersection, but once you're through, you're fine.
Right.
Yeah.
In the afternoon, it's the other way, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
live down 279, so in the evening, if I'm coming back into Liberty Hill,
Oh, at
it
5?
takes forever.
Oh yeah, it takes
To get up
all
that.
There's also the
day.
lines all the way to Blue Hole.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but just so y'all do know, so this intersection will be first. Probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks, we'll have a lighted intersection there, and we'll see how that works. Then they're gonna do Bailey Lane, which is by Golden Chick. So that'll take a few months. They're gonna extend the loop and light that intersection. There's no timeline on that. Actually, I think the second intersection on their plan is to extend an exit out of Liberty Park and connect it with Stonewall right there where Burton is.
Right.
So they'll have a lighted intersection there so people can get out of Liberty Park, because it's hard to turn left.
Oh, I can imagine.
Aren't they widening 279 too? Or is that a
Yeah,
study
so the
that we should-
plan is 279 is supposed to be 4-way or 4 lanes all the way to Glenn High School and have a sidewalk all the way to Liberty Hill, but I don't have a timeline on that. That'll be a county project. Yeah, and then a roundabout at 279. I think that's the last of the 4 projects they'll do, the roundabout. So
I mean,
we'll
they
see.
make that a 4-way, 2 lanes. That
Yeah.
should do it.
And then with that is what they're calling the Southwest Bypass, which will basically go from the high school around the city to the south. And I'm not sure where it's gonna end up, but I think the first phase of that is to connect 1869 to 279.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, but I don't have a timeline on that.
And that ought to take some traffic out of
The
downtown.
city,
Yeah, 'cause
downtown,
it-
because they're just
yeah.
trying to get to Austin.
I don't know. And then TxDOT is in control of County Road 29 or Highway 29. I think there's a need and a desire to widen 29, but I've heard if it is widened, it will go right back to 4 lanes in Liberty Hill. So right now it's not through the city. They're not gonna expand that because the bypass will take care of that. But these are 10-year, 20-year plans, so. That's a very long answer to I don't know.
Yeah, and the
So-
traffic light is not just the city of Liberty Hill. They have to get text out or somebody. It's a county road or something, so they have to get help there
Yeah,
too.
so you got 1869, which is County Road, and then you've got the loop, which is through
So the city
through
can't just
cities.
do whatever they want. They have to get other people to agree to it.
Yeah.
It's
So-
just gonna be fun.
They're trying. I think everybody's trying. Everybody's trying. What can we do? So, and then we'll see. All right. So the need on the demographic side for more buildings is right here, as you see. We're over capacity at every school except for Santa Rita Middle. We have a window of 3 more students, and then the high school. Remember, we just added on to the high school. So, and I'll talk a little bit more about this because the capacity at the high school, they have 1,972 students. The classroom capacity of that school, we've expanded to 2,400, which we'll be at in probably 3 or 4 years. But the building itself was just built for 1,600 students, right? So the cafeteria, the band hall, our last bond took care of locker room space, which was way short, but now we need to go back and add on to the cafeteria, add on to the band hall, add on to the choir room. With the last bond, we're adding on some CTE labs. And then with this bond, we'll add on some robotic space. Our robotics program is thriving. They went to state this fall. And so we'll have a little more manageable space. It takes a lot of space to do robotics. So, and then we will open elementary 6, which will try to balance all of this. We won't put every school at 800 because just for example, Liberty Hill Elementary, Butler Farms out west of the high school, when it starts, we'll probably start at this school before we get a school built out there. So we'll need to have some room for growth here and room for growth in Noble.
Is that with our extension here? Okay.
Because here we're adding 30 classrooms. Yes, sir. 30 classrooms here, and the intent today was to give y'all a little tour, but they're doing a safety inspection today, so we can't do it. But we'll set up a tour for y'all later, and then we'll also offer an opportunity to do a bus tour of the district if you're interested in. I think Ms. Masani, did you go on that bus
Yes,
tour?
that was very educational.
Yeah. So, and matter of fact, do you want to talk anything about the long range planning or, the process?
When you're done, maybe.
Okay.
I'll say.
All right. So here's kind of future projections as we go. You can see our overall enrollments going up. We're projected to be at 18,000 by 2032-33, which is good because our lowest projection when we were growing so fast last year at that rate, we would have gotten to 18,000 or even to 24,000 by 2030. So the interest rate and everything has slowed everything down, but those lots are still there and they're still going to build those houses. It's just a matter of when, right? And so you can see how our elementary in gray enrollment's going to go up, and then middle school in gold and high school in white. This is interesting. Over the last 10 years, 137% growth in Liberty Hill. And then this year, or the last 3 years, it's 14%. So that's about 11%, 24%, and I think we're at 14% this year. All right. This is very interesting too. So this is all the districts in Austin. And as you guys know, driving around Austin, y'all see construction everywhere. Businesses are coming in everywhere, up and down the 35 corridor. You got Tesla, which is open. You got Samsung, which is coming. You've got, and by the way, this will be on the website if it's not already on the website, and we'll email it to you, so you guys will have it. But there's so many more businesses coming. North Georgetown is starting to explode with a lot of commercial and distribution. Temple is actually starting to explode and come towards us. So probably from Temple all the way down to San Marcos is just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. So you see all the districts in, well, these aren't all, just the top 10 and how they're growing. Liberty Hill ranked 5th in annual closings. That's how they ranked us, 5th right here in annual closings. We have an inventory currently of 1786. And over here, when we talk about need, you've got future lots in some sort of development. Either a plat has been submitted to the city or the county, or they're planning for water, wastewater, or the house is halfway built or whatever, but we have 10,500 future homes on the books today. And I'm gonna show you some land that isn't on the books, where they're planning to build homes. But you see it all over. Hayes has 41,000 homes coming, Georgetown 16,000, Hutto 11,000, Del Valley 23,000. You don't see it on here, but Lockhart, for example, they only had 70 closings last year, but they have 23,000 future homes. So they're just coming everywhere, and we want to make sure if they come to Liberty Hill, we're providing a great educational opportunity for them. All right, so here's our district. Here's our district map. The green shapes are currently active subdivisions. As you can see, we have 28 actively building subdivisions. And within our district, there's 7 future subdivisions. Talking to the city, there's lots of multifamily going in too, but y'all see all the apartments going up in Leander down 183, and they're coming up. So there's a lot of apartment units coming. We learned Monday there's 14,000 apartment units coming to the city in ETJ of Liberty Hill. So the ETJ kind of runs like that in our district, and then a lot of it is down here in the Larkspur area, in the Summerlin area that's not in our district, but will definitely affect traffic and the logistics of the city. So I would just start over here to the west. Here's Butler Farms. I think, are there slides in here on the individual subdivisions? Not in this one. They have about 2,000 homes planned. Right now they've built about 30. I think about 20 of them have closed. Currently, they only have water though, because water is a big problem out here. They only have water for about 200 homes. So we're watching it closely, because as soon as they get that water solution, they'll start building homes a lot quicker. They've actually acquired, not on that prior list, but they've acquired land all the way to the county to build 9,500 homes total right in here. And it'll be mixed. It'll be commercial, retail, multifamily, but 9,500 single family homes there. Over here in this ranch, there are plans to build homes as well. I've heard numbers up in 15,000 single family homes, but right now that is not in any kind of development stage, but we're working with that developer, so we're ready when it comes. These are large acre, less density populations. They're still close to build out at Clearwater Ranch. I think they have plans to expand. Big one we're looking at right here, this is Northgate Ranch up 214, you know where QT is? If you haven't driven up 214, I encourage you to do it. They've expanded the road all the way to the San Gabriel, and this is another 1,600 homes right here in Lariat, and they have Georgetown water, and they have their own sewer or wastewater system with the mud, so they are building. They've got their roads and infrastructure going in, and we'll probably see the first home being completed, model home, maybe towards the end of the summer. All right. Stonewall Ranch around Burden is expanding northwards, and those houses are selling fairly quickly. Rancho Santa Fe's got some more houses going in. Santa Rita Ranch, I think they've got 3,500 homes planned for this area in our district. Morningstar is almost built out, but Omega Ranch is currently in construction. Down here is Bar W. It's about a third built out right now. For this green section, they're going to expand over here as well. But Elementary 6 will be in this neighborhood, and it should be open in August. Then you've got Rancho mostly built out. You've got Lively Ranch, which is slowed down a little bit. And then you got the Oaks of San Gabriel, which still has some more houses in the north. So future Elementary 7 will be built right across from Santa Rita Middle School. And then we have some future neighborhoods. This neighborhood is going to be called El Dorado. It's got about, Dustin, 1,200 homes? 1,900 homes. We'll have a school site in there. And then this, homes will be built on this side of the triangle. The school district actually owns about 170 acres right here for future school sites to handle our growth. So beyond this, what you see, what we have our eyes on, there's about 400 acres right here, which is currently not for sale, but I know it's coveted by home builders. You've got the 207 corridor,
which is a lot of buildable land, but again, no water. And then you've got this area out here, which is coveted, but there's no water. So any questions on development?
What's that one, on Baghdad right there? That small one?
Baghdad, okay, down here, this is Whit Ranch.
Okay.
Like if you go down, there's a few neighborhoods, there's a lot of acre sites, but this is Whit Ranch, and they're building a few homes. It's 1 and 2 acre sites.
Yeah, I live there, but
Okay.
the neighborhood around it, Four Star,
Okay, so
bought it and they're planning.
yeah, so Four
Large.
Star has changed a lot. Recently, there's 300 acres right here, 281 down to Whit Ranch and
Yeah.
over. Eventually, Lakeline Road will come up and basically T right there. Their latest model is to build acre home sites.
Yeah,
Very
large
similar to
acre,
Whit Ranch.
surround,
So,
yeah.
Water.
Yeah, that's like.
So there's lots of developments here that have flipped. This is, I'm not sure exactly what this is, but there's a 500 acre tract in here that they're gonna do like glamour, RV park, single family home. Yeah. So lots of RV parks. 3405 has RV parks. There's one being built in the city. There's a couple existing in the city, but, and then multifamily too, we're keeping our eye on. All right, any more questions on that? Yeah. All right, so here are the key takeaways from the demographics. You just see year after year, we're gonna continue to grow. We've slowed down to a very manageable level. So hopefully, you know, if the community supports this bond, we'll be able to catch up and stay on top of everything, but they're still coming. They're just slowing down a little bit. All right, here's your projected timeline. Like I say, August we'll have elementary 6. The next year we'll have elementary 7 and middle school 3 open. High school 2, this building will be completed in 26. We'll need elementary 8 about that time, a couple years later 9, a couple years later 10. If you remember from 2 years ago, I think I needed about 13 elementary schools and 5 middle schools in this same timeline, so it's good. We've been able to push it out a little bit further.
Where's 2 going? High school 2?
High school 2, let me go back. High school 2 is right here. Middle school 3 is south of 258, and high school 2 is north of 258. Right there. And then the toll road will go under 29 and it'll end right here, and there'll be a lighted intersection at the new 258 connecting.
San Rafael High School 3 go?
Yet to be determined. So we have this purchased land. So there's 2 challenges with land, right? Number 1, it's an arms race, right?
Yeah.
All the developers are trying to buy it, and most of this land is flipped 3 or 4 times. So to get land at an affordable rate is good. Like, so for example, we bought this land for about $1.50 a square foot. By comparison, this land over here is $10 a square foot. Land in here is $15 a square foot. And it's coming down. This land was $21 a square foot at one point, but they have water and sewer. Out here, you don't have it. So when you think, all right, 9,500 homes, possibly 15,000, I mean, we need school sites in this area. We're working with developers to acquire that land as well. All right. Oh, challenges. All right. So the first thing is growth. The second thing is challenges with construction. Obviously, construction timelines have slowed due to material shortages, labor shortages. When you think about how awesome Samsung and Tesla are, also requires a lot of labor, and they take it away from us. They can pay more than everybody over here. So you've also got construction downtown, you've got construction in the domain, they can pay more. So availability of those services has gotten short as well. The big one is price. Our construction, since the bond pass, has gone up 40%. So you think about that, last bond was $491 million, was 40% of that. It's a lot. So lots of hard conversations we had to have as a district. People ask me, hey, you're building a school, you know, why don't you design it cheaper? Why don't you, why don't you not make it so nice? Which, I mean, we understand we want to be good stewards of taxpayer money. But when you look at a school, Just the building envelope itself is 30%, concrete's 11%, general requirements are 12%, mechanical engineering, plumbing, fire protection, 25% of the whole cost. Is the pipe is doubled, the fire sprinkling systems have doubled. Your site work is about 10%. You've got some requirements for ADA go in there. So what we can control beyond square footage, basically finishes and interiors, it's about 4.5%, 5%. So, and we try to save as much money as we can, but it's a struggle when concrete is doubled and site work is doubled and all those things. But you know, no complaints. We're going to get it done. We're going to have what we need for our kids, and we're going to do as much value engineering as we can. So, understanding school bonds. Y'all probably understand school bonds. I don't know how much you want me to explain on this, but I get asked a lot, you know, why do you have to use bonds to build schools? Is there another way? In other states, they have other funding sources, right? Their property taxes aren't used like Texas property taxes are, but they have state income taxes, right? And so states kick in a lot of money for that construction on the other side too, but it's not really a good model for them either. So really we have two ways, or really we have three ways to pay for schools. One is a bond election. The other way is to spend money with our fund balance. So an elementary school today, the last elementary school we built was about 28 million. The current ones we're building are about 45 million on average. The next elementary schools will be 60 million. It is crazy how much the prices have gone up. So we don't have 60 million in fund balance, and we never do, because we try to maximize what money we do get from the state to pay for salaries and give teachers, you know, the most we can, to give all of our employees the most we can. The other way would just be to borrow money, like you would borrow money for your house. That money would have to be taken out of the daily operation money. And again, if you're paying $5 million on a debt payment, if you think of it like a mortgage, it's a lot of money to take away from teachers and kids and instructional. So the state sets up that system to where you have a separate tax note just for the bonds. The limit on that is 50 cents. Schools cannot go above 50 cents no matter what. So no matter what bonds we sell or what we plan, we cannot exceed what money we are able to generate from that 50-cent tax base. So that goes into all these calculations as well. So as we go forward with the next bond, whether you do a bond every year, every other year, every 10 years or whatever, you need to plan out to make sure your finances line up with that. And our business office does an excellent job. All right, so who decides what's in a bond? Ultimately, it's the board that approves what's in a bond, but it's the long-range planning and all the work that goes in, all the analytics. They work in tandem with us. We kind of line out the demographics for them, the need. They put their eyes on it. They vet through it. We had a long list of projects this time. They prioritized them. We put a dollar amount on them. They're the ones who made the recommendation to the board that these are the projects. They felt they were the priority. They took a lot of projects off, but they did a really good job to recommend to our board what they wanted in this bond. So, and I kind of talked about why you need the bond. You have to get voter permission.